What if I told you there's a place in Alaska more mysterious than the Bermuda Triangle? An area the size of Ireland where people vanish without a trace, where instruments fail, compasses spin aimlessly, and locals don't even dare say its name out loud. Welcome to Cursed Map. Today we explore the mystery of the ghost territory known as Area 122. This forgotten fragment of Alaska doesn't appear in tourist brochures, hiking routes, or even on Google Maps. But it exists. It's registered in the U.S. military cartographic grid systems as Grid Area 122. A simple technical label hiding a deep and dangerous mystery. Area 122 covers over 77,000 square kilometers. To give you an idea, that's nearly the same size as all of Scotland. It's a colossal stretch of frozen tundra, dense forests, jagged mountains, and lakes so dark they look like mirrors of the abyss. But the truly disturbing thing isn't what can be seen, it's what can't be found. Since 1970, over 16,000 people have mysteriously disappeared in Alaska. Most of them in this specific area. And the strangest part is that barely any bodies are recovered. No trace, no clues. They simply vanish. One of the most shocking cases was that of Congressman Hale Boggs, whose plane disappeared in 1972 without a single piece of evidence. The plane had communication equipment, an experienced pilot, and a clear route. But it vanished from radar as if it had never existed. Search operations mobilized over 40 aircraft and thousands of people. 40 days of searching. Nothing found, not even a fuel stain. Nothing. That was just the beginning of a long list of disappearances under unexplained conditions. Curiously, the official reports often end with the same phrase: loss with no logical explanation. Those who've ventured into the region, voluntarily or by accident, speak of phenomena that are hard to explain. Planes suddenly lose navigation control. Cameras shut off on their own. Recorders play back sounds no one heard during the recording. And a constant feeling of being watched. Many researchers, both official and independent, have tried to find answers. Some point to natural causes. For instance, underground seismic activity, very common in Alaska, could cause shifts in the electromagnetic field that interfere with technology. But that doesn't explain why it only happens in this specific area. Or why there are never any signs of accidents. Other studies suggest the possibility of extremely unstable microclimates, with sudden storms, unpredictable winds, and thick mists that can disorient even seasoned explorers. But again, how do you explain the complete disappearance of hundreds of physically fit people, with supplies, traveling in groups, and familiar with the terrain? And then there are the darker theories. Some geologists claim there's a permanent magnetic anomaly beneath the surface of Area 122. A dead zone where navigation systems simply stop working. Some say it's an energy vortex, similar to those documented in places like Sedona, Arizona, or the Dragon's Triangle in Japan. According to these theories, Area 122 is a kind of hole in the fabric of reality. A place where the space-time fabric is thinner. Where the world as we know it folds, or opens. A doorway to somewhere else? And this is where things get truly unsettling. Because there are native tribes, like the Tlingit and Athabascan, who for centuries have warned their people not to venture into certain parts of Alaska's interior. Their legends speak of shadowless beings, of echoes that return words no one spoke, of a place where the sky changes and no one notices. One of the most often repeated legends mentions the Nahana, a race of cannibal giants who once inhabited these lands before modern humans arrived. The Nahana, it's said, vanished, leaving behind only whispers and cursed territories. Some hunters claim to have found ancient structures made of massive stones, too heavy to move without machinery. When they return with help, the structures are gone. They vanish, like everything else in this region. There are also declassified U.S. military reports that raise more questions than answers. One, dated 1996, states that unauthorized flights over Sector 122 should be restricted for reasons of national security. No explanation. No justification. just an order. And what about satellites? Several researchers have found that satellite images of Area 122 show abnormally low quality. Or they display burned out zones, as if someone had edited the files. Coincidence? Or deliberate censorship? Moreover, thermal images taken in winter show heat spots in places with no known settlements or facilities, as if something underground remained active. There are also witnesses who claim to have seen lights moving in formations too precise to be natural, but impossible for known drones. Lights that disappear when approached. And the strangest thing, they leave no trace on local radar. Is it secret technology? Military experiments? Or something we simply don't understand? Some ufologists are convinced that Area 122 is one of the key hotspots for extraterrestrial activity in the Northern Hemisphere. They cite testimonies from commercial pilots who report metallic objects silently floating over the horizon, or shapes that change size while hovering in the air. And then there's the most disturbing part: the sounds. There are recordings of infrasound frequencies detected in the area, similar to those in other regions linked to anomalous phenomena. Low sounds, almost imperceptible to the human ear, but which cause anxiety, dizziness, and disorientation. Some call them the trumpets of the abyss. The truth is, the more Area 122 is investigated, the more questions arise. And the harder it becomes to separate myth from reality. Is it simply a wild region with bad luck? Or is it one of the few places on Earth where the rules of the known world are suspended? Maybe we'll never know. Or maybe, just maybe, someone already does, and is making sure no one else finds out. The world is full of cursed places. Blind spots on the map where logic breaks down and history falls silent. Area 122 is, without a doubt, one of the most chilling. Now that you know its name, you won't be able to forget it. But be warned, not all paths are meant to be walked. Some are simply meant to be avoided. If you want to keep exploring these forgotten corners, where official history dares not enter and reality begins to fracture, subscribe to Cursed Map. Every week, we open the door to a new mystery. And you decide whether to step in, or just watch from a distance. Nos vemos en el próximo lugar maldito.